So walk us through how a crypto wireless network actually works.
Yeah, so I think that really the easiest way to think about what Helium does is it empowers ordinary people, everyday people, to participate in the telecom business. Right, this is the most entrenched industry that's almost impossible for like a regular person to participate in. And what Helium has really pioneered is the ability for really everyday people to become part of the telecom business with this sort of decentralization and this crypto twist to it. So everyday participants buy a little piece of hardware called a hotspot. You can think of it as a miniature cell tower, and they earn HNT, which is the Helium token for providing network coverage that other people can use. That's sort of the simplest way to think about what it does.
What are some of your first use cases and customers?
Yeah, so there's been some interesting ones. I mean, the network today is focused on the Internet of Things, right, which is mostly sensors, small devices that are battery powered. And so we've seen everything from drone delivery, so packages being delivered by drones that are orchestrated through the Helium network, precision agriculture, things like wildfire monitoring, connected rat traps. You know, the number of use cases is extremely broad, and IoT as a category has been one that has really lacked a network that supports the kinds of applications that we're now seeing get built. So we're really starting to see like the transformation of an idea, which was IoT 10 years ago, to the reality, which is people and businesses starting to deploy sensors that solve real problems.
So is the goal here to take...
Food delivery company Postmates says it's the first service in the U.S. to use a fleet of robots to deliver food. The cooler-sized machines are now roaming the sidewalks of Washington, D.C., waiting for an order. Customers can go online or use the company's app to order a meal. The robot then heads to the restaurant using an array of sensors and cameras to navigate the sidewalk. The system creates a digital map to remember trouble spots, and it can even read electronic signs at crosswalks.
Behind me is one of the garages for Waymo, the latest company to get the state's permission to test autonomous driverless cars for the first time with no one in the driver's seat. Chances are you've seen these white Jaguars.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And yes, the robots are coming. And that George Mason video was back in 2019. So don't say it was because of the pandemic. This was well before. Majority of the technology was rolled out. They've been working on it for 10 years plus. The fourth industrial revolution is right around the corner. So it would definitely be smart to learn the technology. Not just to invest to make money, but actually understand the mechanics behind it. You have to. You can't make the same mistake as the last financial system. We know that's going to be gone. Especially if you're young right now, sit down, learn. I understand all the distractions around you, but you have to keep focused. The reason why, because you want to be on the right side of history. And guys, we're seeing all the big players from the big corporations, big banks, moving over to crypto. Why? Yes, crypto is definitely the future. That's the reason why. But there's another big reason, and we learned it from big tech. And Steve Jobs said it perfectly. Why create something when you can steal it? Because that's what it's all about. We know big bank takes little bank every single time. We've seen this movie play out before. And lastly, guys, we have the Florida governor bringing in financial literacy. Remember, guys, teamwork makes the dream work. This was sent to me in my Patreon. Remember, I told you this a long time ago. This was going to start when I first started doing my videos. Because they know the American economy is going to crash and is not coming back. The shoe is about to be put on the other foot. The emerging markets are about to rise, and America to Babylon is about to fall. All this surplus food, clothes, it's a waste of money, waste of everything in America. But guess what? The New World Order has something for you, and the Crypto Teacher knows. It is all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Welcome back, everybody. Mainstream banks are coming around to crypto, but the pivot isn't enough to keep them from having their employees leave for faster and greener pastures. Kate Rooney is outside the New York Stock Exchange with details on this crypto brain drain Wall Street's experiencing. Kate?
Hey, Kelly, that's right. Some of the big bulge bracket names have been hiring, and they're beefing up their cryptocurrency team so far. We've seen that lately. They argue that they've got the scale, they've got the impact, but the startups are also trying to compete for some of that talent. And people that have left Wall Street to go to some of these faster moving startups say they're looking for that fast moving pace. They're looking for a slightly different culture. And they say there's potentially more upside at a startup at this point. JP
Lee, the co-founders of Syndicate, joining us now, which is shaping its own role in the DAO space. Ian, I want to start with you. There are plenty of definitions for DAOs out there. In the simplest terms, what is a DAO to you?
Yeah, the way that we think about DAOs is that it's a Web3 technology that enables communities to coordinate capital natively on the internet. And if we think about the applications of that, it's pretty profound in terms of how, communities, people, and capital work together. And so one of the biggest application areas of DAOs, in our view, is the area of investing. And when we think of investing, it's not just about the allocation of financial capital, but also the allocation of human capital as well. And so what we're building at Syndicate is the Web3 infrastructure to power investing on the internet through our infrastructure.
So
we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends. So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.